Hey, this is Jill from Simple Daily Recipes, and look, we're in the house. We're in the kitchen. We're not out in the field. I'm not picking something or pulling something or anything. I'm actually in the house this time. And the reason I want your attention right now is because I'm getting ready to cook up some purple whole peas that a friend of mine brought over to me, and I had the kids shell them up this morning, and I thought I could have put them in the freezer, blanched them real quick, throw them up the freezer and ate them later, but I'm not tired of eating purple whole peas. They're in season right now, and I love them. My husband loves them, and so I thought, well, I'm just going to cook them up. But normally I cook them up, I've always cooked them up on the stove top, covered with water, let them simmer for an hour, and then they're ready. But I don't have an hour tonight. I just have a short amount of time to cook. So I'm going to cook them up in my pressure cooker. Ha-ha! And I know some of you out there, y'all told me that you're too scared to use the pressure cooker. So I want y'all to listen. Now, everybody else that knows how to use a pressure cooker, y'all don't have to watch. For all of you that don't know how to use a pressure cooker, you don't own one, you're thinking about owning one, I want to show you how easy it is to cook with a pressure cooker. There's nothing to it. In all the years that I have owned this thing, and it's been a long time, I could say I've been using a pressure cooker for 15 years, it has never exploded on me. It has never done anything but make great food, okay, really fast. Instead of spending 1 hour on the stove with these purple whole peas, it's going to take me 4 minutes to get these ready. Yeah, you heard me, 4 minutes. So let me show you the parts of the pressure cooker. You've got the pot, duh. We've got the lid, and you have a weight. Okay, this is the weight. Let me bring this a little closer. See that? There's the weight. Now the lid is. There's just a couple of parts to the lid that you need to know about. There's the seal that sits inside the lid. Before you start cooking, you need to make sure that the seal is sitting properly inside the lid. You have this is a gasket called an overpressure gasket. Can you see that right there? This is the air vent, or the pressure vent, steam vent. And right here, let me see if I get this angle just right. Right here, this is called the air vent and the cover lock. Okay, it goes up and down. It's a little piece here. It goes back and forth. And this is really important because you're going to watch this when you're cooking. Okay, when this is in the up position, that means that pot is full of steam and pressure. Never try to remove this weight while this air vent cover lock is in the up position. Never. And because if you did, and I've done this once before and I'll never do it again, if you tried to take this off while this was in the up position, all the food in the pot would try to come spewing out, out of this air vent, and it makes a nasty mess, and you can burn yourself with the steam. So you have to wait until your air vent, or they call it the cover lock too, drops down. See how you can't see it anymore? It drops down, and then you know that there's no more pressure in the pot. You can take the weight off, and you can remove the lid from the cooker. Okay? So you just need to know that. That's all there is to really be careful about, is watching your air vent. And I forgot to tell you one more thing. When you go to buy your pressure cooker, do not throw away your manual, okay? It might be really tempting. I know for a lot of appliances, we get these manuals along in the box, and we think, why would we need it? We toss them away. But on your pressure cooker, I have a Presto. Don't throw this away, because inside the manual are the instructions on how to care for your pan, but more importantly, you have the timetables that you need for cooking meat, cooking seafood, cooking dried beans. A kidney bean doesn't take as long as a pinto bean, and you can't remember how long each one of them takes. And also, when you do fresh vegetable timetables, it'll tell you, how many cups of liquid you're going to need in the pan and how many minutes it will take to cook it. So don't throw this away. It's a great book. I keep mine right up here above my oven, and I use it a lot. Now, when you're cooking fresh vegetables, really what you have to remember is never to fill the pot up more than 2/3 full. That's like the standard. I think that works for all pressure cookers. Just never fill it more than 2/3 full. So I just have a little bit of purple whole peas, and I'm going to dump those in my pot. I've already washed them, and I just have to add 1 cup of water. Okay, and even if I had like twice as much black-eyed peas or purple hull peas, they're the same thing. Just depends on which side of the track you live on. Whichever, you know, even if I had twice as many peas to put in my pot, I still just put 1 cup of water. Now, if I was going to fill this pot to like up to the 2/3 full mark, I'd probably put 1.5 cups of water in there. But you know, a little more water just makes a little more of that drip, you know, the gravy. But you don't have to cover the peas, the fresh vegetables. You don't have to cover the fresh vegetables with water in order for them to cook until they're tender. So there's my water, and I'm going to add, to my liking, I'm going to add some fresh pepper. Can't pick that up. I'm going to add a little fresh pepper. I'm going to add, I didn't have much here, so I'm just going to add about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And then I like onion powder. I mean, I love onions, fresh onions in my food, but my daughter does not like fresh onions, and she doesn't like to see them in her food. So for a little while now, as a cook, I'm having to use dried spices to hide those flavors. And so, and I do the same thing with garlic powder. My daughter never knows that what I've put in the food. She loves garlic, she just doesn't know it. But okay, and I'm just stirring that up, and I'm going to put my lid on. And I've got some marks here. There's a triangle here, and there's a triangle here on my lid. And I just have to line those up, and I'm going to put my, lock the handle, and I'm going to put this lid on. And now I'm going to put it over my burner, and I'm going to set it to medium-high, okay? Now what I'm going to wait for is, I need to wait for the pressure, the pot to get hot, the pressure to build up, and when it starts to build up, my air vent that I showed you will pop in the upper right, it will pop up, the lid will be locked, and when this begins to chatter, that's when I start my timer. I just want to show you, can you hear that? That is just started percolating, and it's going really high. This is, I have my heat on medium high to get it boiling. I've been waiting about 5 minutes for it to get hot. Now that my regulator is chattering, I want to turn my heat down to about medium low, and then this will start to slow down, and that's good. We don't want a high chatter, or we don't want a fast chatter like this, because too much steam will escape out of the pot. And if you don't have a lot of water in there to begin with, and you have a long period to cook, then your pot could run dry, and then you know you're going to have burnt food. So, oh wait, there it is. You hear that? Can you hear that? See, it hasn't been that long. See, I was going to turn it off, and I decided not to. See, that's the rocking sound you want. No matter what you're cooking. This is the sound, this is the rhythm you want on your pressure cooker. Okay? Now you can walk away. Set your timer and walk away and come right back, and your food will be ready. I promise. Okay, it's been 4 minutes, and the black-eyed peas or the purple hull peas are done. So all I have to do is turn off the heat, and I can cool this down 2 different ways. One, I can simply just slide my pan over, or my cooker over, and let it cool down on its own accord, or I can take it over to the sink carefully. Nothing's going to happen if I, it's not going to explode on me, or if I don't handle it correctly. But I can take it over to the sink and run it under cold water, and I would do that until the pressure lock, the air vent, drops. And then once my little air vent has dropped, there's no more pressure in the pot. And then I can remove the pressure regulator, the thing that chatters on the top. I can remove that and take off the lid and serve up the peas. So it's really that simple. I prefer to let the pressure cooker cool down on its own accord. It seems like especially when I'm making beans, I get a better gravy with my beans if I let it cool down on its own. And it really doesn't take that long, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. I've really never paid attention. I always just slide the pot off the heat and I go do something else. So, but if I was in a hurry, I could just put it over there and, run it under cold water, let the air vent drop, take the lid off, and we're on our way. So, okay, it's cooled down on its own accord, and I'm going to remove this. I've taken the pressure regulator off. You always have to do that first. And just unlock it. a loud noise. And there's always a lot of water that sticks to the steam, so just be careful that you kind of don't get over the pot when you open this. It's just really hot. And then take your lid and drop it in the sink. I'll be right back. Okay, and let's see if you can see this. Where's my spoon? Sorry. You know, home video is just, you gotta take what you give. So, okay, here it is. Can you see these? Let's see if you can see these. I'm about to tilt this up without burning. Ow! Don't burn yourself. Okay, can you see? See? Look at there. Well, and I do have some water in there. You just can't see it. And those peas are cooked. Y'all, if y'all get tired of watching these videos, you're welcome to turn them off. It's cool. I understand. I'm learning how to do this, and I'm not trying to make this Food Network. I'm just trying to help y'all in the kitchen. All right, there we go. Look at there. Black-eyed peas. Purple hull peas. Perfectly tender. Steaming hot. Flavorful. You notice I didn't put any bacon in there. Didn't really need to. 4 minutes. They're perfect. Absolutely perfect. Black-eyed peas. I mean, purple hull peas. All right, y'all eat healthy. Go pull you some purple hull peas from some farm, and go make these. And get yourself a pressure cooker, because there ain't nothing to it, and there's nothing to be afraid of. And learn how to cook healthy food fast. All right, y'all have fun. Bye.